Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Azmil Zulfekar bin JAFFARY. My matrix number is I20305001. I'm from group 12. So today our group want to present about topic foundation of organization structure. Okay, so what we can learn about this chapter. Identify 7 elements of an organization structure. Identify the characteristic of functional structure. Identify the characteristic of the virtual structure. Describe the effect of downsizing of organization structure. Contrast the reason for using mechanistic versus organic structure models. Analyze the behavioral implication of different organization design. So, what is organization structure? Organization structure is the formal arrangement of job within an organization and organization hierarchy of people and department, as well as how information flow within the organization. So in organization structure, the system that outlines how certain activities are directed in order to achieve the goals of the organization. So di dalam organization structure ni dia merangkumi peraturan, peranan dan tanggungjawab. So the organizational structure also determines how information flows between level within the company. So there are 7 elements for the design of organization structure. The first one is work specialization, departmentalization, chain of command, span of control, centralization and decentralization, formalization, and the last one is boundary spanning. So we are going to work specialization first. Okay, work specialization, sometimes called a division of labor, refer to the degree to which an organization divides individual tasks into separate jobs. So it allows the manager to take complex tasks and break them down into smaller, more pressed tasks than individual worker can complete. So dia membolehkan itu pengurus mengambil tugas yang lebih banyak dan memecahkan mereka kepada tugas yang lebih kecil dan yang lebih tepatlah dikenali sebagai yang boleh diselesaikan oleh pekerja individu itu. So I will give you example like in a bakery that use a batch production, di mana di satu kedai bakery ini mereka menggunakan pengeluaran batch product. So di dalam batch pengeluaran itu mereka ada pembahagian tugas, di mana ada yang pembahagian labeling, ada yang bahagian pricing, ada yang bahagian packaging. So the same workers do same task for each batch. Okay, so there are work specialization, economics and diseconomies. Okay, now the building of the thread of that we just discussed here, what we can see in this graph is that as work specialization increase, so does our productivity, but that only happens to a point, because at some point what happens is there are kind of this economy that we experience, and some of these things may be related to lack of motivation, and other things may be related to having a people who are so specialized that they can other job. So I will give you example. When I was in industry, I managed a pricing group, and each people and each person in my team had a specific area that they work. So economists and diseconomists specialization can reach a point of diminishing, and the job enlargement give greater efficiencies that those specialization. Okay, next is departmentalization. So departmentalization basis on which the job that are divided to work specialization are grouped together into logical unit. So di dalam departmentalization ni adalah kumpulan yang berdasarkan daripada aspek-aspek biasa pekerjaan yang boleh diselaraskan dan dinilai. So there are different technique of departmentalization. So there are 5 points of departmentalization. So the first one is by function performed. Second is by type of product or service the organization produce. Third is by geography or territory. Fourth is by process different, and fifth by type of customer. Okay, now let me explain about bifunctional perform. So bifunctional perform is when job are grouped according to activities or its function. So it is a very common form of departmentalization. So it usually include marketing, sales, human resource, finance department respectively. So the advantage is that workers specializing in a task are put together. So I will give you example. The company is divided along various functional departments such as marketing department, project department, HR department, finance department, and so on. Okay, next is by product or service of the organization produce. So organization is divided on the basis of different product or service created by the firm. So this help to focus on specific product lines efficiently. So let me give you example like insurance company. So insurance company are usually departmentalized along different service such as life insurance department, fire insurance department, accident and health department, liability department, and others. Okay, next is geography or theory. So geography or theory refer to when the organization is divided with respect to different areas of geography served by the business. So it is usually opted in multinational firms or firms that have operation in different regions of the same country. So geography or theory valuable if organization customer are scattered over a large geography area. Okay, next is by type of customer. So by type of customer is when the organization is divided to offer their service or product to separate identifiable customer group. So ia digunakan di sini apabila firma itu memenuhi keperluan kategori pelanggan yang berasingan. Okay, next is process different. So process different divided according to different process used in creating a product or service of the of the business. So it is used when different processing requiring different machinery and skills to make a product used in the business. So I will give you example in the insurance company. So in the insurance company, to claim insurance for an accident, you have to pass through many departments to complete process. So the first application department take application, followed the survey department, then survey the accident, then the payment processing by department. Okay, next is chain of command. So change of command refer to the unbroken lines of authority that start from the top level of the organization to the lower level. So it shows the relationship between individuals working in an organization and to whom they report to and who they are responsible for. So it work on the principle of unity of command, which state that worker should have only one superior to report to in order to avoid confusion. So it is an increasingly obsolete phenomenon in the dynamic firm that do not follow the strict hierarchy organization structure. So there are two types. There are two complementary of chain of command. The first one is unity of command, and next is authority. Okay, next is span of control. So span of control refer to the number of subordinate working directly under a manager. Dia merujuk kepada bilangan orang bawahan yang bekerja secara langsung di bawah seorang pengurus. So there are two types of span of control. The first one is wider span and narrow span. So wider span is orang bawahan, bilangan orang bawahan yang lebih besar yang bekerja di bawah satu pengurus. And narrow span is bilangan orang bawahan yang kurang bekerja di bawah manager. So the chain of command and span of control are inversely proportional. A wide span of control would mean a shorter chain of command, and a narrow span of control would lead to a taller chain of command. So a wider span of control are regarded as beneficial because it shortens the chain of command and bureaucratic structure in an organization, and lead to more delegation to employers. Walau bagaimanapun, wider span of control ni dia sangat luas, akan menyebabkan masalah untuk mengawal manager lah. So related chain of command is a span of control. Dan span of control ni berurusan dengan berapa banyak individu pengurus yang boleh secara cekap dan berkesan langsung. Dan di dalam narrow span of control ni, setiap pengurus mempunyai bilangan pekerja yang lebih rendah, dalam masa yang sama mempunyai bilangan tahap yang lebih tinggi di dalam sebuah organisasi. Okey, baiklah. Apabila kita mempunyai wider span of control, setiap pengurus ini mempunyai lebih banyak pekerja, dan kita mempunyai tahap yang lebih sedikit di dalam sebuah organisasi. Jadi apa yang kita lihat di dalam cerita ini, di mana jenis perbezaan antara narrow dan wider span of control, adakah di sebelah kiri kita ini yang assuming span of control for per manager, dan di sebelah kanan kita melihat 8. So apa yang berlaku adalah dengan hanya 4 orang setiap pengurus, jika kita mempunyai 4096 pekerja, kita harus turun ke 7 tahap. Jadi yang menempatkan kita di dalam situasi ini di mana kita mempunyai lebih daripada 1365 pengurus dengan span of control 8 orang. Kita sebenarnya hanya mempunyai 5 tahap di sini untuk jumlah pekerja yang sama dan kurang daripada 600 pengurus. So we have more than twice as many manager when we have a narrow span.
Assalamualaikum. My name is NURIN SAKINA NAZRI. My matric number is I20305038. Okay, so I will continue our presentation, which is centralization and decentralization. Okay, so I will go to first centralization. So centralization is when the entire decision making authority is in the hands of the central management of the firm, and no lower level involvement is required in making decision for the firm. So meaning here, keseluruhan kuasa ataupun keputusan itu berada di tangan pengurusan firma, which mean organisasi itulah, dan tiada penglibatan peringkat bawah ataupun rendah untuk membuat keputusan. Mean that only top managers can do all the decisions. So for example, I can give to you, I take from MACD, which is McDonald's. Apply centralization because as a franchise, all the advertising decision have to be approved by the top level of management. So maybe they have to create some new menu for burgers, or maybe employee training and cleaning schedules. So overall is centralization is autocratic, which means it taking no account of other people's wishes or opinions, and is a domineering management. So I will continue to decentralization. So, the decentralization is when the decision-making authority is delegated to the managerial levels just below the top level, which is not all decisions-making authority lies in the hands of the top-level management, which means pihak kuasa ataupun pengurus membuat keputusan dan dibawa ke peringkat pengurusannya di level bawah lah, iaitu bawah peringkat pengurusan yang tinggi. So maksudnya sini tak semua keputusan oleh pihak kuasa, which mean pengurus ini memerlukan persetujuan peringkat pengurusan yang tinggi. So we can see that decentralization are often more flexible and productive at deciding because the managers are closer to take the actions for workers. So the workers, they involved in decisions making process is different from decentralization is different from centralization. So for example, I can give to you, I take a scarf or hijab boutique like Nilofa hijab, apply decentralization as it allows the store managers at different outlets restriction in how they want to set up for decorate the outlet and no need for approval from regional managers, which mean keputusan mereka ni untuk mengubah outlet kedai tu, which mean design ke, diorang tak perlukan sebarang approval daripada keseluruhan managers. So for formalization is refers to the extent to which jobs are standardized within an organization. It refers to the degree to which the employee has to follow the given pattern to do his or her jobs. So a highly formalized job is when the workers knows what to do and cannot add any innovation to performing the task and organizational rules to follow and given a set of procedures to follow. So maksudnya di sini pekerja itu formalize dia job, diorang tak boleh menambah apa-apa inovasi lah and membuat kerja tu dengan arahan rules and set of procedures untuk di-follow, untuk diikuti. For example, I can take from a factory. So a factory, the workers do their specific job by their department and routinely every day. So they follow the rules and procedures that have been designed. So the lastly is boundary spanning. Boundary spanning is perfect to do a small business and don't have as many technological resources as a large company. By utilizing boundary spanning rules allow a small business to flourish, means untuk berkembang. So for the large companies, applying boundary spanning make the company more competitive. We can see that on communication, boundary spanning, communication includes meeting with other company for planning, informal conversation and written communication. So it is important for company to maintain communication with different companies to help them gain more knowledge or inputs to develop an innovative product. So the communication can be divided into formal and informal. So for formal, they can do a communication through meetings, and for informal, they can do communication by emails or phone calls. Okay, next is about common organizational framework and structure. So there are three organizational framework and structure. We go to the first one, which is simple structure. So simple structure is a basic organizational design structure with low departmentalization, little work specialization, wide span of control, centralized authority, and little formalization or rules that govern operation. And is usually used in small business because it's centralized decision making with the owner and don't have formal department and layer of management. So for example that you can see on the slide is a JAFFARY, which is who is owner manager, and below owner manager they have salesperson, 5 salesperson, and 1 cashier. So for other example that I can give to you, based on my work experience, I have been a cashier dekat satu kedai runcit yang kecil, and dekat dalam organisasi kedai runcit yang saya kerja tu ada someone yang bekerja untuk kira-kira stok barang yang sampai, and then barang yang dah habis, and then ada juga yang uruskan stok, or maybe we call storekeeper, and then ada manager, and manager ni juga also buat kira-kira account kedai runcit tu juga, and then cashier, and also ada juga bahagian untuk packing or susun barang dekat rak tu. So overall simple structure ni dia macam basic organisation, dia kekurangan dia macam biasanya dalam small business untuk berkembang. So the second is bureaucracy, which is refer to an organisation that is complex with multi-layered systems and process. These systems and procedures are designed to maintain uniformity and control within an organization. So a bureaucracy is categorized by standardization. So in slide you can see that a bureaucracy is categorized by standardization, is highly routine operating tasks, is very formalized rules and regulations, task group into functional departments, centralized authority, narrow span of control, and lastly, decision making that follows the chain of command. So you can see on the slide strengths and weakness of bureaucracy, and for example that I can give to you yang menggunakan bureaucracy structure ni lah, di mana college and university. College and university ni menggunakan bureaucracy ni. So we can see dekat dalam college or university kita ada fakulti, kita ada department, and kita juga ada dekan, department facilities. So kalau kita ambil daripada sudut dekat USAS, maybe that fakulti we can see kita ada fakulti pengajar Islam, kita ada fakulti pengurusan dan teknologi maklumat, and then for department kita ada jabatan usuluddin, kita ada jabatan sains sosial, and then kita ada dekan, ketua dekan, and then we also have department facilities macam jabatan kewangan ataupun jabatan pembangunan dan keselamatan. So bureaucracies ni boleh dibahagikan kepada 2 aspects, which is functional structure and divisional structure. So functional is groups employees by their similar specialties, roles or tasks, and divisional structure groups employees into units by product, service, customer or geographical market area. So for the lastly, the third one is metric structure. So the metric structure is a structure in which there is more than one line of reporting managers. It breaks the monotony and give more flexibility to the organization. Break the monotony means here that kita break kesuraman, kita break all dull dan juga sifat bored macam tu lah. And then for the metric structure, it combines 2 forms of departmentalization, which is functional and product. So the strength of functional is putting specialists together, while the product departments facilities coordination. So you can see on the slide there are example matrix structure for College of Business Administration. So as you can see, academic departments is functional, while the programs is the products. So lecturer can be teaching accounting for undergraduate courses, as well as to the chairperson of the accounting department, which means lecturer tu boleh juga ajar untuk undergraduate subjek accounting lah, program accounting, and then dalam masa yang sama dia juga boleh jadi chairperson of the accounting department.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aisyah binti Ahmad Ismail, number matric I18303355. Okay, now I want to continue our present related to subtopic about alternate design option. Okay, alternate design option ni it has three structure. One is the virtual organization, second is team structure, and the third for the last one is circular structure. Okay, now we continue with the first part is organization, means virtual organization. Okay, so the virtual organization, the essence of the virtual organization is it typically a small core organization that outsources major business function. Okay, also referred to as a modular or network organization. Okay, it is highly centralized with little or no departmentalization. Okay, so for the virtual organization ni, is a type of modern form of grouping post, cell or organization unit of different organization, even for entire companies. So whose main task is implement stated objective that has no legal personality, property or personal employed by single entity. Okay, for virtual organization, relationship are very important, and the possibility of rapid communication between the partners. Okay, which is achieved by using communication technology and network computing. Okay, so this network are the basis of virtual organization. The environment constantly requires organization to deal with new obstacle. Okay, so they must keep up with the continuing change and the innovative information technology. Okay, so in this organization, does not matter who and at what level in the hierarchy is, because all the interested party are equal. Okay, so work breakdown and control of processes is done by a company that coordinate deal with particular customer. Okay, so when it comes to the duration of a virtual organization, so this cannot be strictly defined because organization will exist as much time will need to fulfill the order of project. So kat sini dalam organisasi virtual ni, partnership ni, maksudnya relationship sangat penting, dan possibility of rapid communication between the partners ni, sebab apa ni, kena perlukan komunikasi yang sangat pantas kan. Dia dicapai dengan menggunakan teknologi komunikasi and network, means network computing lah. Okay, so we know that this network are the basis of virtual organization. So nak kata kat sini, yang merupakan yang rangkaian adalah asas kepada organisasi virtual ni. Okay, okay, as usually virtual structure ni is often used by large corporation. Okay, so companies do not employ workers but contract workers of outside service provider for pursuing specified objective. Okay, contractor make products in their own factories because virtual organization do not have own product centers, so the production process is not controlled in any way by the virtual organization. Okay, So virtual organization just give only on brand to finish the product, and the aim is to substantially reduce the cost of production, and which is possible because of cheap labor in the region of the world. Okay, so di sini untuk virtual structure ni selalu digunakan oleh company-company atau organisasi yang besar. Okay, macam companies ni, diorang kebanyakannya diorang do not employ workers, but diorang ada pekerja kontrak, means contract workers of outside service provider, untuk penyedia perkhidmatan luar. Means kalau ada apa-apa yang berkaitan, maksudnya ada perkhidmatan luar yang berkaitan dengan kerja mereka ni, jadinya ada pekerja-pekerja kontrak ni untuk lakukan kerja tersebut. Okay, to achieve the objective, maksudnya nak untuk achieve the objective tu, so okay, untuk disebabkan virtual structure ni, so contractor they must produce the product themselves. Mean they not have for virtual organization, they not have own production center, so they must make product in their own factories. Okay, virtual organization ni dia just boleh maksudnya beri jenama sendiri, means give only on brand to finish the product. Produk tu perlu dilakukan oleh kita sendiri, hanya jenama sahaja yang dikeluarkan oleh virtual organization ni. Okay, okay, virtual organization ni dia aim dia untuk reduce the cost of production, means nak kurangkan kos pengeluaran secara besar-besaran. Sebab mungkin ada tenaga kerja yang murah kan. Okay, means macam nak katakan yang ada setengah syarikat-syarikat yang kecil yang tak mampu untuk bayar gaji pekerja yang ramai. So diorang gunakan cara virtual organization ni, means virtual organization untuk keluarkan jenama sendiri, tapi hanya ada hire untuk hire worker, kena gajikan ada dalam beberapa pekerja untuk producekan barang tersebut. So ini sebab nak kurangkan kos pembelanjaan kan. Jadinya bila guna virtual organization ni, dia dapat menambah kurangkan lagi kos pengeluaran tu. Okay, for the virtual organization structure ni, dia create on voluntary basis, based on mutual trust between organization that engage in all sort of cooperation in order to achieve greater benefit than if they had to work in a traditional way. Okay, so possibility of entering such relationship provided by global information network and large database. Okay, kat sini virtual organization ni dia wujud secara sukarela, means voluntary basis. Okay, dia based melalui mutual trust, means nak katakan kepercayaan sesama organisasi yang bergabung ni, kena perlukan ada kepercayaan antara sesama organisasi untuk kerjasama dalam untuk capaikan objektif matlamat dia orang, keuntungan dia orang. Untuk tu jadi perlu ada kepercayaan satu sama lain. Okay, bila guna virtual organisation ni, dia lagi menambahkan kayaknya boleh lagi capai keuntungan yang lebih besar berbanding traditional way, means cara traditional, cara yang lama kan, traditional hierarchy semua. Okay, so possibility of entering such relationship ni provide by global information network and large database. So kat sini menjalin partnership ni, dia disediakan oleh rangkaian maklumat global dan pangkalan data yang besar. Means nak katakan kat sini macam contoh kita, walaupun kita dari syarikat kita ISMAIL, tapi kita nak gabung dengan syarikat-syarikat di luar negara semua. Jadinya melalui virtual organization ni dapat realisasikan tujuan yang kita nakkan tu kan. Okay, so okay, the term virtual organization ni dia used to describe a network of independent firm that join together, often temporarily to produce a service or product. Okay, So virtual organisation ni dia often associate with such team as virtual office, virtual team or virtual leadership. Okay, so ultimate goal that for virtual organisation ni ialah to provide innovative, high quality products or service instantly in response to customer demands. So kat sini untuk term virtual organisation ni dia digunakan untuk describe a network independent firm ni. Maksudnya macam mana link rangkaian syarikat-syarikat kecil ni, syarikat-syarikat yang bebas ni, dia orang cooperate bersama. Dan selalunya dia ni temporarily, maksudnya sementara saja. Bila dia orang dah bila dia orang dah produce ni semua untuk produce service atau produk ni kan. Kena kalau bila dia orang dah dah ada semua ni kan, kena macam organisasi virtual ni dia macam dia ada kaitan dengan virtual office, virtual team, dengan virtual leadership ni semua kan. Dia kena tujuan dia yang utama sekali adalah untuk perkhidmatan inovatif. Maksudnya bila kita partnership dengan organisasi-organisasi lain ni kan, untuk dapatkan perkhidmatan inovatif, and then high quality, untuk dapatkan quality tinggi kan. And then also respond for the customer demand, untuk kena fast respond untuk customer service ni semua kan. Okay, so macam term virtual ni dia ada when macam bila kita guna virtual ni, kita banyak gunakan multimedia. Means kat sini bila kita banyak guna ni, maksud bila kini organisasi ni dapat kumpulkan sumber dari pelbagai syarikat. Bila macam dari maklumat komputer ni dapat simpankan maklumat lebih banyak. Jadinya syarikat-syarikat ni dia orang boleh simpan maklumat, kumpulkan maklumat dari pelbagai syarikat dan simpankan dalam satu data. And then dari situ dia orang dapat mampu untuk tengok dari segi macam mana untuk hasilkan satu produk yang baik melalui syarikat ni. Semuanya menggunakan virtual organisation ni. Alright. Okay. Now we see for the figure 1 and figure 2 in the slide ni. Okay. Figure 1 is the traditional hierarchy. Okay. Now that's what I want to tunjukkan, the traditional hierarchy ni. Okay, the traditional hierarchy ni ini adalah cara lama. Maksudnya cara lama dalam satu-satu organisasi dan satu-satu syarikat, company-company yang besar atau company kecil yang gunakan dulu the traditional hierarchy ni. Untuk figure 1 ni, seperti mana yang kita tengok ni, Presiden, CEO adalah yang pertama, means leader. Okay, and then ada bawah-bawahnya, itulah dia traditional hierarchy ni means maksudnya peningkatan, maksudnya level-level yang ada maksudnya dalam setiap proses, maksudnya mesti ada. Kalau dulu macam nak dapatkan satu kelulusan, kena pergi ke jabatan ni sampailah ke atas baru boleh diluluskan. Tapi bila virtual organisation ni semuanya adalah sama, maksudnya semua ada hak untuk ni kan. Tapi masih lagi ada perkara-perkara tertentu yang memerlukan kepada daripada leadership lah kan. Okay, so as we can see, in the president, CEO, so VP personnel, finance, R&D, also bawah dia ada division manager, and then department manager, and also for the supervisor. Okay, we move to the figure 2 in the virtual cooperation. Bila makin maju kan, makin ni. Okay, bila dia orang bertukar kepada virtual organisation, so jadilah ni yang tengah tu merupakan lead cooperation. Maksudnya dia lah yang lead kan untuk cooperation syarikat-syarikat yang kecil ni. Dan kira macam rangkaian organisasi yang bekerja secara bebas, means untuk bawa satu-satu produk tu ke pasaran. Okay, dia orang gather untuk capai satu tujuan matlamat yang sama. Okay, okay. Next slide is the virtual organization that has 6 key characters. Okay, it is borderless organization located in cyberspace, web space. Okay, second is geographically spread, is multi-size. Two interchangeable partners given a similar business culture. 4, a combination of complementary resources to accomplish a specific goal. 5 is spread power among the partners. And 6, electronic communication through ICT. So the virtual organisation ni dia ada 6 key characters. So for the 6 key characters ni, it's a borderless organisation, means locate space. Maksudnya nak kata kat sini macam organisasi yang tiada sempadan lah. Maksudnya nak katakan bila kita guna virtual learning ni, kini kita boleh macam-macam, maksudnya kita ada banyak cara kita, maksudnya kita boleh berhubung dengan orang luar semua kan. Okay, kita boleh bergabung dengan syarikat yang luar daripada kawasan kita semua kan. Okay, lepas tu geographically spread, multi-site kan. Maksudnya geographically ni maksudnya daripada sudut geografi negara-negara ni semua kan. Okay, lepas tu interchangeable partner given a similar business culture. Okay, bila kita ada partner yang berbeza ni semua kan, so kita akan ada give a similar business culture. Maksudnya culture business kat sini macam mana, culture business yang belah sini macam mana semua kan. So kita dapat tahu kat situ. Okay, spread power among the partners. Okay, bila spread power among the partners ni maksudnya bila kita ada, kita gabung dengan syarikat-syarikat lain. So kita boleh berkongsi idea power semua kan. Kini kita boleh kat sini, kita boleh tahu macam mana kita nak improvekan lagi kita punya organisation ni semua kan. Okay, so for the last one is electronic communication through ICT. So virtual ni kita tahu communication through ICT, through multimedia. So bila berkaitan dengan virtual, memang kita tak akan dapat lari daripada penggunaan multimedia, sama ada virtual team, virtual leadership, virtual partnership or something else. Okay, okay, for the characteristic of virtual organisation. Okay, the next slide is characteristic of a virtual organisation. That means partners in virtual organisation share risk, cost and reward in pursuit of a global market. Okay, virtual organisation represent structure that are motivated by specific market opportunities. Each partner in a virtual corporation contribute a world-class core competence such as design, manufacturing and marketing. Okay, so the common characteristic of this organisation include a purpose that is motivated by specific market opportunities, world-class competence, information network, independent relationship and permanent boundaries. So kat sini partnership ni, partner dalam virtual organisation ni, dia kongsi segala risiko, cost and juga keuntungan dalam kerja dalam pasaran global ni kan. Okay, so bagi ciri-ciri umum untuk organisasi ni, dia adalah tujuan yang maksudnya untuk peluang bagi pasaran tertentu. Lepas tu challenge, maksudnya kompeten dengan untuk jadi world class, jadi kelas dunia kan. Lepas tu dapatkan maklumat, information network dan juga interdependent relationship, maksudnya hubungan saling berkait kan. Maksudnya untuk maksudnya macam collaborate untuk something project yang diorang buat kan. Okay, so each partner in virtual corporation ni contribute a world class core competence such as design, manufacturing or marketing. This is ability of multiple firm to create synergies among worker function and processes, create untold possibilities. Okay, so kat sini setiap partnership ni, setiap rakan kongsi ni, dia menyumbang kecekapan, maksudnya sumbang idea dan dari segi reka bentuk, dari segi pembuatan, pemasaran, macam mana semua kan, nak bagikan apa yang orang rancang tu berjaya, maksudnya maju. Okay, so keupayaan pelbagai company ni untuk wujudkan antara fungsi dan proses work class ni, untuk wujudkan satu maksudnya produk yang terbaik lah, maksudnya hasil yang terbaik. Okay, dia macam kalau untuk kemudiannya dia ada type untuk virtual. Okay, so we move to the next slide is a type of virtual. Okay, type of virtual ni dia ada 3 jenis yang utamanya, iaitu virtual team, virtual leadership and also virtual learning. Okay, for virtual teams, a group of people who interact through interdependent tasks guided by a common purpose. Okay, virtual team ni may include employees, management, customer, suppliers and government working together to achieve common goal. Okay, virtual team ni dia often the group structure used in organisation. Maksudnya virtual organisation ni, virtual teams. Bila berkaitan dengan virtual organisation, mesti akan ada virtual teams. Okay. Menurut Jessica Lipnet and Jeffrey Stem from Reference of Business, they define virtual team ni as a group of people who interact through interdependent tasks guided by a common purpose. Means kat sini dia orang ni definisikan yang virtual team ni sebagai sekumpulan orang yang berinteraksi untuk lakukan tugas-tugas yang saling berkait satu sama lain, tapi diguidekan untuk tujuan yang sama. Maksudnya tujuan ni satu juga, tapi buat secara berkumpulan. Okay, dia not like macam unlike conventional teams lah, sebab a virtual team ni perform work across space, time and organizational boundaries connect by interactive communication technologies. So kat sini sebab apa? Dia tak macam conventional, tak macam traditional hierarchy ni lain. Sebab apa? Virtual team ni dilakukan kerja dia rentas ruang masa semua. Maksudnya sebabkan virtual kan, so ada yang luar daripada kawasan kita, luar daripada contoh, luar daripada kawasan tempat tinggal, ataupun luar daripada kawasan pejabat tu, luar daripada kawasan negara, maksudnya macam tu kan. Okay, dia rentas daripada masa, ruang, batas organisasi semua kan. Tapi dihubungkan melalui apa? Melalui teknologi komunikasi. Okay, virtual team ni juga dia juga include employees, management, customer, suppliers and government working together all once to achieve common goal. Okay, so kat sini virtual team ni bukan saja untuk dalam syarikat saja, malah dia berkait dengan pelanggan, dia berkait dengan pengurusan pelanggan, even kerajaan pun akan terkait sekali dalam untuk achievekan dia orang punya goal dia orang. Okay, jadinya team ni dia macam they have the product they design and goes into the production when the project is finished and the virtual team ni dissolve. Maksudnya kat sini bila dia orang dah rancang, dia orang dah buat benda tu semua, and then project tu selesai dengan jayanya, and then dia orang beralih ke perkara lain pula yang dia orang nak buat. Maksudnya mungkin dia orang akan gabung dengan grup lain pula untuk ada projek-projek baru yang dia orang nak usahakan lagi kan. Okay, Lipnet, Jessica Lipnet and Jeffrey Stem ni pun ada cakap juga bahawa ada 3 key features for successful virtual team ni. Okay, the first one is the choice of team members with the appropriate skill and knowledge for the task. That's mean salah satunya adalah pilihan ahli pasukan. Means cara kita pilih ahli pasukan tu dari segi skill and knowledge. Maksudnya dari segi pengetahuan dan skill dia orang yang ada dalam tu kan. Okay, the second one is definition of purpose to steer the group. Means tujuan untuk arah ke kumpulan tu. Means maksudnya nak guide kumpulan tu dapat capai ke matlamat apa yang dia orang rancang. Okay, and the third one is penghubung anggota. Means nak kata kat sini linking of team members including communication channel, interaction and relationship. So kat sini dia ada penghubung bagi anggota yang berkesan, means termasuk komunikasi, interaksi dan juga hubungan. Okay, virtual team members ni dia sangatlah maksudnya macam required to learn a new set of skill. Means maksudnya kena pelajari set kemahiran baru tau. Okay, one of skill ability dia to interact with each other effectively despite if you go of total face to face contact. Okay, kat sini nak tunjukkan kini salah satu kemahiran dia, walaupun kita virtual tapi kita mampu untuk berinteraksi antara satu sama lain, dan kini kita mampu secara berkesan lah untuk berinteraksi sama lain walaupun kita jarang jumpa, dan ataupun secara totalnya kita tak pernah jumpa ke apa, tapi kita boleh settle kan. Maksudnya kita boleh bincang, maksudnya kita boleh bawa apa yang kita ni kan untuk interaksi dalam virtual ni kan. Okay, virtual team juga dia technically adapt to deal with variety of required computer based technology. So additionally, virtual team ni members may need in cultural skill to work effectively in multinational organisation. So anggota virtual ni dia orang perlu mahir secara teknikal untuk tangani pelbagai teknologi ni lah yang berasaskan komputer ni, sebab memang virtual ni memang akan berkaitan dengan multimedia, berkaitan komputer. So setiap ahli virtual team ni perlu ada kemahiran antara budaya dan pekerja dalam organisasi dalam pelbagai negara kan. Sebab yelah untuk create bonding, maksudnya partnership yang bagus antara ni, lagi-lagi pula dengan yelah dari culture yang berbeza, daripada tempat yang berbeza semua kan. Jadinya perlukan skill communication yang sangat baik baru dapat wujudkan matlamat apa yang dia orang capai. Okay, the second one is virtual leader. Virtual leader ni adalah discuss the new leadership skill required to lead in the virtual environment. Okay, so menurut Grenier and Matters from Reference of Business, discuss the new leadership ni required to lead in the virtual environment, including the ability to manage a network or independent firms. Okay, to design virtual operation, to create and sustain virtual relationship with internal as well as external constituents, to support virtual teams, keep virtual team focused. So the leader of virtual organization demand a new set of skill, unlike the skill required in traditional hierarchy. Okay, so kat sini Grenier and Matters from Reference of Business ni dia membincangkan kemahiran kepimpinan ni, the new leadership ni dia sangat diperlukan dalam memimpin virtual team ni. Maksudnya virtual kini dalam macam cakap dalam environment virtual ni lain. Okay, walaupun duduk dalam environment equally, means every party yang join ni adalah equally, but still need leader to lead dia orang ni untuk achieve their goal. Okay, so kat sini dia buat untuk uruskan rangkaian syarikat yang saling bergantung satu sama lain, rancang virtual operation, dan juga kini maintain relationship virtual ni dengan dari segi dalaman dan juga luaran. Okay, dan leadership ni juga kini the new leadership ni, maksudnya virtual leader ni dia perlu pastikan dia punya team dia tetap fokus, jangan ambil sikap sambil lewa semua tu. So untuk leader of virtual organisation ni dia memerlukan maksudnya kemahiran baru yang tidak ada seperti kini dia perlu ada kemahiran yang lain daripada lain, tak semacam kemahiran yang ada dalam hierarki lama, maksudnya dah tradisional punya ni kan. Okay, so the last one is the virtual learning, iaitu element to the success of the virtual organisation is the ability of the organisation to create world-class learning system. Okay, so this learning system ni to help leaders, kini untuk bantu ketua sustain or create a world-class competence. So kat sini effective learning ni can create pathway throughout the organisation. So example in network fashion, the innovative capabilities of the organisation member and ability to sustain a leadership position in the world economy demand the organisation be on the cutting edge to develop rapid and illegal solution to emerging consumer demands. Okay, so kat sini pembelajaran yang berkesan juga sangat diperlukan untuk mewujudkan maksudnya jalan masuk ke satu organisasi. Means macam keupayaan organisasi tu untuk berkukuhkan kedudukan diorang ni. Kini untuk diorang dia orang perlu ada ilmu untuk dia orang maintain dalam organisasi ni, untuk dia orang lead organisasi ni jadi ikutan organisasi-organisasi lain. Jadi dia orang perlu ada learning, dia orang perlu ada learning system, baru dia orang dapat guide company-company organisasi lain ni untuk lead, untuk ikut dia orang kena berjaya macam dia orang juga. Okay. Okay, so the next one is example for virtual organization. Okay, for the example, virtual organization ni exists through electronic and phone communication. Okay, there is no share office space where the company meet to conduct business. Okay, an example of a virtual organization ni is a freelance writing company that has outdoor contributing content from all over the world. Sebagai contoh mudah yang kalau kita berkaitan dengan freelance ni, writing company ni, kita ambil contoh yang paling semua orang boleh faham ialah Wattpad. Okay, Wattpad ni adalah satu apps yang himpunkan outdoor yang create macam-macam cerita dari segi novel or like apa ni, fiction, not fiction, and something like science reference or something like that kan. Okay, macam kita tengok pun kan, untuk Wattpad ni bukan hanya satu negara sahaja yang menulis. Sebagai contoh, kita buat kata novel, bukan satu negara saja yang menulis novel tu, tapi negara-negara lain juga. Maksudnya outdoor yang dari negara lain juga duduk dalam satu tempat yang sama untuk create novel dia orang. Maksudnya dari dalam tu juga dia orang ada, maksudnya macam mana dia orang share buah cerita, maksudnya macam mana yang ni idea dia orang ni macam ni, tajuk ni macam ni jenis-jenis jenis apa, genre apa semua kan. Okay, kalau kita tengok dia orang create audio ni semua from all over the world kan. So memang nak kata kat sini kita dapat baca cerita yang ada dari negara lain, dari ni semua kan, tapi duduk dalam satu company sama, duduk bawah Wattpad. Kayaknya dia orang dapat berbincang, maksudnya dapat share dia orang punya idea-idea dia orang berkaitan dengan cerita-cerita dia orang semua dalam tu. Okay, for the last one for the virtual organization ni ialah advantage and disadvantage for virtual organization. Okay, for the advantage is a lower overhead cost, improve employee certification, improve employee efficiency, improve scalability and growth potential, larger talent pool, improve employee retention, and access to the new market. Okay, but the most advantage in the virtual organization ni, dia mesti dia macam dia kena dia flexibility. Means kat sini dia lebih kena, kalau untuk macam virtual organization ni terutama sekali lah untuk orang yang dia kurang duit tapi dia maksudnya dia ada banyak idea. Jadinya digunakan kaedah virtual organization ni untuk dia capai apa matlamat yang dia nak. Dan sebab apa virtual organization ni dia menggunakan kos yang sangat rendah. Kini tak ada, maksudnya dia macam dia kena the structure ni dia save great deal of money by eliminating permanent office and record rules. Maksudnya kat sini kan macam dia boleh ke individu ni yang ada sedikit wang, even sedikit wang, tapi inovatif dia, idea dia berlambak, idea dia banyak, dia berjaya bersaing dengan company yang besar, organisasi yang besar. Sebab apa? Struktur ni dia boleh menjimatkan banyak wang, and then dia dapat, maksudnya dia dapat kurangkan kos-kos ni lah. Maksudnya kena ada pejabat semua, sebab dia boleh buat melalui tempat dia sahaja, tak perlu nak ni kan. Okay, so for the disadvantage is the lack of physical interaction, a need of increased focus on communication, reputational skill, reputational risk, and juga security and compliance issue. Okay, so for this one is lack of physical interaction. This means we associate verbal and non-verbal cause also the synergy that often company means kat sini face to face interaction. Maksudnya lack of physical interaction ni means bila berkaitan dengan virtual ni kita kurang pada physical interaction. Kita hanya interaction melalui virtual. So kita tak dapat jumpa secara depan-depan kan, tak dapat face to face. Okay, for second one is need or increase focus on communication. Increase of communication focus ni kira macam bila kita meeting ke apa, kita perlukan fokus. Bila kita meeting secara fizikal, kita akan fokus dengan apa yang diterangkan, apa yang semua. Tapi kalau kita meeting secara virtual, fokus tu kurang ada. Maksudnya banyak pada kita tengah buat kerja lain atau apa something. Kini kita perlukan fokus ni. Such as voice, eye movement, facial expressions, mind, body language untuk have better communication ni. Lepas tu reputational risk ni kan. Reputational risk ni macam akibat dia, kini kalau ada apa-apa masalah berkaitan kerugian ke apa, kita tak boleh nak settlekan masalah ni secara depan-depan. Kena secara virtual sahaja. Okay, and the last one is security and compliance issue. Means berkaitan dengan hack, scam, virus. Maksudnya ya, berkaitan dengan bila berkaitan dengan multimedia, berkaitan dengan virtual ni, takkan lari daripada perkara-perkara ni kan. Tapi even ada kekurangan, tapi kekurangan tu kelebihan tu lebih banyak daripada kekurangan. So virtual organization ni dia become reality and growing in popularity. So several success case of virtual organization ni abound in our country. So company dia enable to virtual organization to work in order to achieve a common goal. Okay, we go to the next part is for the alternate design option for the team structure. Okay, for the team structure, eliminate the chain of command and replace department with empowered teams. Okay, so it removes vertical and horizontal boundaries, breaks down external barrier, flatten the hierarchy and minimize status and rank. Okay, when fully operational, this team structure may break down geographic barriers ni. Okay, team structure when fully, kena team structure ni refer to the composition of an individual team or a multi-team system. So it's an integral part of the process of teamwork, where structure and is the outcome ensure effective leadership, communication, mutual support and juga situation monitoring. Okay, so for the structure team structure ni, which is entire organization is made up of work group or team, is called the team structure. So in this structure, employee empowerment is crucial because there is no lack of managerial authority from top to the bottom. Okay, so kat sini struktur organisasi ni di mana organisasi terdiri daripada kumpulan kerja ataupun pasukan yang disebut sebagai inilah team structure ni kan. Okay, so dalam structure ni maksudnya kuasa pekerja ni sangat penting kerana kalau sebab apa dia tak ada barisan authority dari pengurusan dari atas ke bawah. Okay, so team structure ni dia refer kepada composition of individual team or multi-team system. It has integral part of process of teamwork. So a well-structured team is the outcome of an ensure effective leadership, communication, mutual support and situation monitoring. So dekat sini struktur pasukan ni, team structure ni, dia merujuk kepada individu. Dia ada pasukan individu, means walaupun dia individu tapi mesti dalam team, and juga ada multi-team system. Lepas tu dia juga ada bahagian yang tak boleh dipisahkan. Kini sebab kalau team ni kita boleh pisahkan. Sebab apa? Dia kerja dia mesti kena buat dalam pasukan. Okay, so team yang tersusun, maksudnya team yang di, maksudnya setiap rancangan dia lakukan dengan baik ni, kini untuk hasilkan kepimpinan yang bagus, komunikasi dan juga pemantauan situasi. Maksudnya kini nak kena monitoring situation untuk pastikan setiap kerja tu berjalan dengan baik. Okay. Bila berkatakan pasal team structure ni, okay, dia ada basically dia ada mainly 6 type of team structure that can be found in any organisation. Maksudnya kebanyakan organisasi ni mesti ada 6 karakteristik ni. Ada 6 jenis team structure ni. Okay, yang first is kita tengok dalam slide yang seterusnya ialah iaitu first is problem solving teams. Okay, problem solving team ni basically this type of team consists of few team members. So the members belong to specific department who come together weekly for discussing and solving problem of their department operation. Means dia orang ni, team dia orang ni kebanyakan ni selalunya dalam dia orang ni ada specific department tau, ada specific jabatan dia orang. Okay, dia orang ni hanya datang setiap minggu hanya untuk discuss masalah and then cuba selesaikan masalah tersebut. Itu dalam department dia orang punya operation. Okay. The second one is cross-functional teams. Cross-functional team ni when official belong to a similar organisation level but from different business operation, so come together for achieving a common operation. So the team is known as a cross-functional team. So kat sini bila ada similar organisation but dia different business operation, so akan macam contoh ada 3 bahagian so macam 2 kumpulan ni akan buat kerja, maksudnya 2 kumpulan ni akan lebih menonjol untuk settlekan kerja tu berbanding grup yang ketiga ni. Sebab apa? Sebab ada kadang-kadang ada kerja tersebut department ni yang perlu lebih untuk settlekan masalah berbanding daripada department tu. Jadinya tu yang ada cross-functional team ni. Okay. The third one is self-managed team. Okay, self-managed team ni yang dikatakan individual tapi dalam teams. Maksudnya kat sini dia duduk dalam dia individual tapi dia bekerjasama sebagai dalam satu kumpulan juga. So problem solving team ni can recommend solution that don't have the authority for implementing team. So self-managed team ni are formed to overcome this challenge because they are not only discuss issue but also liable for implementing the solution and for their outcomes. Okay. Dia punya untuk problem solving team ni dia boleh selesaikan, maksudnya boleh recommendkan untuk penyelesaian masalah, tapi dia tak ada authority untuk implementing macam problem solving teams ni. Okay. Dia macam problem solving team ni dia orang boleh recommend penyelesaian masalah, tapi dia orang tak ada authority untuk implementing self-managed team ni. Okay, sebab apa? Self-managed team ni dia form untuk overcome challenge ni, untuk cabaran ni, sebab dia orang bukan hanya setakat bincang isu ni tapi also cuba untuk selesaikan masalah untuk outcomes dia orang pada masa akan datang. Okay. The fourth one is virtual teams. Okay, virtual team ni as we know that mobile is related to the mobile technology and the internet. It's simpler to manage remote members with the virtual team concept. Okay, dia kalau macam kita tahu untuk virtual teams ni memang berkaitan dengan teknologi, maksudnya berkaitan dengan teknologi, berkaitan dengan internet semua. Okay, the next one is matrix structure. That the most organisation follow the structure for building their teams. Basically, it combine the product and functional departmentalization. Okay, so dekat sini kebanyakan organisasi akan follow di structure untuk build kan, maksudnya kuatkan orang punya teams ni. So basically dia combinekan produk dengan department punya functional ni kan. Okay, so the last one is bureaucratic teams. Okay, the team ni dia form really routine tasks with formal rule and regulation. So this team task nature is highly specialized and decision making follow specific chains of command. So kat sini nak katakan yang team ni dia ada routine task untuk formal rules and juga regulation. Maksudnya ada dia orang punya routine untuk perhatikan untuk kena task dia orang ni macam specialize untuk decision making, buat keputusan kan, ikut pada chain of command. Okay, we move to the next slide is Okey, kat sini kita boleh tengok apa yang saya nak katakan tadi untuk kena gambaran secara dalam tentang functional team ni. Okey, kita tengok functional teams ni. Okey, dari segi sales, operation and design. Okey, ada 3 department untuk department sales, department operation dan department design. Okey, dekat sini setiap untuk functional team ni, setiap department ada projek-projek sendiri. Setiap group, setiap department ada projek-projek dia orang untuk dia orang settlekan masalah. Ada masalah, settlekan semua kan, untuk dapatkan satu hasil yang baik. So functional team ni setiap satunya ada dia orang punya projek masing-masing yang perlu dia orang buat. Tu untuk functional team. Okay, we move to the next slide. Is cross functional team. As we can see, so for the sales and operation and design. Okay, we see, for this department sales and department for operation, they have maksudnya macam projek ni lebih menonjol, kini lebih kepada untuk sales dengan operation, kini kurang untuk design. Kini projek ni lebih kepada memerlukan kepada department untuk sales dengan operation saja. Maksudnya design masih diperlukan, tapi kurang dia punya keperluan dia tu. Okay, itu untuk cross functional teams. Okay, the third one is self managed team. Okay, ni yang ditunjukkan untuk individual tapi bekerja dalam satu group. Dia orang kerja secara individual tapi tetap juga saling berhubung satu sama lain. Kalau kita tengok dalam gambar rajah ni kan, semuanya ada berkait-kait antara satu sama lain untuk buat sesuatu keputusan dan juga buat sesuatu pekerjaan kan. Okay, now we move to the next slide is the virtual teams. Okay, virtual teams ni dia of course lah kita kata berkaitan dengan teknologi. Okay, dari satu teknologi tu kita akan kaitkan dengan banyak-banyak orang. Maksudnya dengan banyak-banyak department ataupun individual atau multi teams. So untuk settlekan satu pekerjaan tu ataupun settlekan satu benda tu menggunakan teknologi. Okay, for the last one, for the alternate design option is circular structure. Okay, for the circular structure ni kita akan tengok balik. Dia berkaitan dengan in the circular structure, in the center are the executive and radiating outward in rings grouped by function are the managers. So then the specialist, then the workers. Okay, has intuitive appeal for creative entrepreneur. However, employees may be unclear about whom they report to and who is running the show. We are still likely to see the popularity of the circular structure spread. Okay, circular structure ni dia merupakan object that reference itself. So to be able to stringify such object ni, developers can utilize the replacer parameter in the stringify method, making sure the function that is being passed filter or repeat the circular data. So kat sini circular structure ni adalah hierarchical, still hierarchy, but rather than a straight ladder arrangement or pyramid, they place high level employees ni and leader at the center and inner rings of a circle and lowest level staff at the outer ring. Okay, so this structure ni in turn encourage dissemination and of information inspiration from the center and allow different division to participate as component of single whole. Okay, kalau kita tengok dekat untuk circular structure ni, dia nak katakan kat sini they place high level employees and leaders at the center and the inner rings of the circle and lower level staff at the outer rings. Maksudnya yang dekat rings tu, itu yang dalam rings, yang dalam circle tu kan, kalau kita tengok dari gambar rajah ni, CEO duduk dalam rings yang utama ataupun high level employee duduk dalam rings yang pertama. Okay, leader lah yang paling utama sekali kan. Okay, but untuk yang lain, research and development, customer ni and juga order fulfillment semua kan, semua duduk dekat inner ring, duduk dekat bahagian luar. Kita tengok juga yang dekat atas tu punya figure department, nampak head department duduk dekat ring yang tengah. Lepas tu maksudnya diikuti oleh team manager, specialization, so marketing, sales and service kan. Semua duduk dekat inner rings. Cuma yang ada dekat tu, yang ada dekat circulars tu cuma head department sahaja. Okay. So bagi dia punya advantage and disadvantage of circular structure ni, but before that, that being said, the leader of executive in circular organisation ni aren't seen as sitting top of the organisation, sending directive down the chain of command. Instead, they are at the center of the organisation, splitting their wish outward. Maksud kat sini, walaupun pemimpin atau eksekutif tu dalam organisasi tu, kita lihat pun tak duduk dalam organisasi atau organisasi ni kan, tapi dia still hantar arahan melalui chain of command. So dia orang bukan cakap itu, tapi dia orang juga duduk dalam center of organisation ni untuk maksudnya sebarkan dia orang punya vision ni outward. Maksudnya nak sebarkan dia orang punya hubungan, macam contoh hubungan kerjasama luar semua kan. Mungkin nak bagi tambah majukan lagi organisasi tu. Okay. From an ideological perspective juga, a circular structure ni mean to promote communication and the free flow of information between different parts of the organisation. Whereas the traditional structure show different department or division as occupying individual semi-autonomous branches, the circular structure being part of the same whole. Maksud kat sini nak katakan yang mempromosikan communication ni and aliran maklum balasnya antara bahagian organisasi. So walaupun struktur tradisional dia tunjukkan bahagian atau bahagian belanja sebagai individu punya structure, occupying individual ni, tapi still juga menggambarkan semua bahagian ni sebagai satu kedudukan yang sama. Maksudnya walaupun kerja yang berbeza-beza, tapi semua duduk dalam satu circular yang sama. Okay. For the advantage and disadvantage of circular structure ni, dia has pros and cons. So the pros is provide strong centralized leadership and vision, support communication and collaboration across division, and encourage a spirit of shared purpose to improve resource sharing and decision making. Also self-sustain distribution of duties and strong collaboration, insulate against disruption due to the staff change. Okay, untuk pros dia ni, okay, macam nak tunjukkan yang dia follow multi-as group and define on basic organizational process, type of service are represented in group by different people. So dia usually horizontal. So all function ni taking in line presenting a service. It common branch under supervision of version. This structure has a little management level and small senior management teams. Okay. For the means kata self-sustaining duty and strong collaboration kat sini kita tengok macam mana dia orang create untuk strong collaboration, maksudnya dapatkan collaborate yang kuat, maksudnya yang dapat kukuhkan lagi kerjasama organisasi-organisasi ni semua kan. Okay, for the cons dia ialah may be confusing for those accustomed to traditional hierarchies. Okay, for the ni kan, okay, untuk yang ni dia berkaitan dengan kini kalau untuk pekerja-pekerja baru, okay, maybe dia akan macam boleh confuse tentang struktur circular structure ni lah, sebab ya mereka tidak, maksudnya tak tahu berkaitan dengan traditional hierarchies ni maybe, dan juga dia orang tak tahu berkaitan dengan circular structure ni. Okay. Then may require additional resources and training to ensure optimal buy-in and performance. So kat sini nak tunjukkan macam ada juga maklumat tambahan, maksudnya resources tambahan kini, dan perlu ada training untuk optimal buy-in and juga performance. Okay, saya rasa itu saja dari saya. Okay, now we move to the next part. Okay, thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZARIFA NADIA binti ZAHURI. My number metric is I183033391. Okay, now I will present about the linear organization, which is downsizing. Okay, what is downsizing? In organization, downsizing is referred to reducing operating costs. The aim of downsizing is for making company leaner, focused, and to restructure an organization in order to make it more competitive. In other words, to make company more systematic. Then, downsizing involves reducing size of workforce or staff, closing location or department which is less profitable, to making company more effective and efficient. Okay, in terms of reducing staff, they or company not terminate employees due to any conduct on the part of employees. Maksudnya dalam downsizing ni, company ataupun manager ni tak berhentikan pekerja atas sebab behavior ataupun bukan sebab dia punya tingkah laku pekerja tu, tapi lebih kepada untuk macam untuk menjimatkan kos gaji ataupun company tu ada masalah ekonomi ataupun untuk restructure balik company ni. Sebab pemberhentian pekerja adalah satu cara yang paling terpantas untuk selesaikan masalah-masalah yang macam ni. Macam kalau masalah ekonomi, cara dia paling pantas mesti kurangkan pekerja. Okay, usually the factor of downsizing, the factor company do downsizing because of poor economic condition of company, which is maybe the company ni bankrupt or produk yang mereka hasilkan tak dapat sambutan yang baik ataupun memang tak dapat sambutan. Jadi so they need to downsize the company untuk memulihkan balik company tu. Second, for reducing cost. Bila downsize, buang pekerja semua tu, mereka tak perlu bayar gaji yang banyak untuk ramai pekerja. Jadi bila pekerja ni diberhentikan, dapat jimatkan kos gaji. Jadi company ni boleh berbelanja dalam ruangan belanjawan yang mereka dah tentukan. Third, for better decision making. And fourth, for restructure and organisation. Contohnya, contoh ada pengambil alihan ataupun ada pertukaran pengurusan di peringkat atasan. Okay, even though downsizing give positive impact, it also give negative impact. For example, the problem of downsizing is many workers or employees losing their job. Second, effect to employees' attitude, which is employees ni will feel worry and stress about work, sebab mereka ni akan fikir produktiviti mereka ni menurun ataupun kerja mereka ni tak sesuai dalam organisasi. So mereka tak berani nak ambil risiko untuk buat kerja yang bagus lah, yang baru. Ataupun mereka ni akan fikir mereka ni bakal juga diberhentikan kerja, employees lah. Yang ketiga, the third, employees will volunteer or turn over. because employees feel not in safety place. So it can lead to employees ni finding new job and finally they resign. So the result is company is more enemy than lean. Sebab kan maybe macam company ni akan hilang orang yang penting. Contoh orang yang resign tu mungkin orang yang berkemahiran ataupun orang yang dah lama. So jadi mereka ni banyak pengalaman dalam company tu. Jadi mereka akan hilang orang-orang yang penting. Okay, next slide. Alright. When it come to downsizing, it will be positive and negative impact. So if company want to do downsize, they need to prepare it in advance to reduce the negative impact or problem after downsize. Okay, here is some strategy for downsizing. First, invest to focus on core competencies are more effective. Contoh invest ni macam someone buka kedai bakery and then dia ada 5 orang pekerja untuk buat homemade cake secara manual lah. Maksudnya mereka kacau butter, kacau tepung semua tu gunakan tangan sahaja. Jadi bila buat secara manual macam tu, dia akan dapat hasil produk tu sikit je. Contoh sehari dia dapat 5 biji je. So bila dia investkan untuk beli mesin ataupun mixer, dia tak perlu untuk upah dah pekerja. Sebab dia gantikan mesin tu dengan pekerja. Jadi kat situ dia dah jimatkan kos gaji. Dalam masa yang sama dia dah jimatkan masa dia. Okay, second, communicate. Kat sini contohnya manager ni dia kena inform or discuss about downsizing with employees. Dia contoh macam bagi tahu rational di sebalik downsizing ni, or berapa employees yang akan terlibat macam tu. So and also they can tell the problem that company ni tengah hadapi. So bila ada komunikasi ni, pekerja ni akan rasa pekerja ni pun penting juga dalam satu company tu. Maksudnya dia rasa company ni, employees ni akan rasa company pun ambil part juga untuk mereka. The third is participate. Disebabkan downsizing ni, pekerja akan dikurangkan. So untuk elakkan ketegangan yang akan berlaku lepas pada downsizing, company ni boleh provide macam volunteer scheme atau program lah. Contohnya siapa yang volunteer nak berhenti pekerja, dia akan dapat benefit. Contoh dia benefit macam dapat duit ataupun dapat pampasan untuk jangka masa yang beberapa bulan lah. So bila majikan ni providekan skim macam ni, dia akan avoid ketegangan tu. Sebabnya pekerja tu rasa macam boleh lagi ni macam tu. Lepas tu, so when manager ni provide program like that, it can help to achieve leans tu. The last one is AZIZ. AZIZ ni macam like provide benefit to employee, especially employees yang diberhentikan. For example, extend healthcare benefits and maybe company can provide program buffer, iaitu sandaran ataupun faedah-faedah kewangan lain sebagai persiapan kepada pekerja-pekerja sebelum pekerja-pekerja ni dapat pekerjaan yang baru. Jadi they also can provide job search assistance because layoff will impact the person finance, mental and emotion. Sebab bila dah downsize, kena buang pekerja ni emosi dia akan tak stabil. Lepas tu akan jadi masalah yang macam-macam lepas tu. So downsizing may success if company prepare the effective strategy before do the downsize. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, why do structure differs? Kenapa sesuatu struktur itu berbeza? Okay, this subtopic we'll talk about the contrast, the reason for using mechanistic versus organic structural models. Before this, we have described many organization design options, and this subtopic discussions by presenting two extreme models, which is one of them is mechanistic model and one is organic model. One model is the mechanistic model. It's generally synonym with the bureaucracy, and it has a highly standardized process for work and also high formalizations. And the other extreme is the organic model. It's too flat and has few formal procedures for making decision and has multiply decision. Model organik ini ia lebih kepada sesuatu prosedur yang formal dan ia mempunyai lebih sedikit perkara untuk membuat keputusan dan mempunyai banyak pembuat keputusan. So, this is the 5 reasons of the structure differs, and the first one is talking about the strategy. Okay, strategi merupakan perkara yang penting dalam memperluaskan perniagaan dan juga perkhidmatan. Strategi mempunyai 3 pecahan dan yang pertama ialah innovation strategy. Innovation strategy loose structure, low formalizations, di mana struktur ini mempunyai formalisasi yang rendah. And what is meaning of this is a strategy that emphasize the introduction of major new products and also the service. Okay, strategi inovasi ini merupakan strategi yang menekankan pengenalan produk baru utama dan juga perkhidmatan. Obviously, not all the firms push innovations. Such like Apple and 3M, they use this innovation strategy, but conservative retailer marks and also the Spencer doesn't use this strategy. Okay, innovative firms use competitive pay and benefits to attract top candidates and motivate employers to take risks. Di mana sebilangan tahap struktur mekanistik ini sebenarnya dapat memberi manfaat kepada inovasi. The second one is cost minimization strategy. Okay, this strategy is emphasize tight cost control, avoidance of unnecessary innovation or marketing expenses. Strategi ini ia menekankan kawalan kos yang ketat, di mana mereka akan menghindarkan daripada melakukan perbelanjaan atau pemasaran yang tidak perlu dan juga melakukan pemotongan harga. Cost minimizing organization usually pursue fewer policies meant to develop commitment among their workforce. And the third one is about the imitation strategy. This strategy is about the seeks to move into a new products or new markets only after their viability has already been proven. Di mana strategi ini mereka akan bertujuan untuk beralih kepada produk baru dan pasaran yang baru. Hanya setelah mereka dapat membuktikan kemajuan pada perniagaan yang sebelumnya. The second factor or the second reason is organizational size. Okay, large organizations employing 200 or more people, organisasi yang besar di mana mereka mempunyai lebih banyak pengkhususan. Okay, orang yang menggaji daripada 2,000 ataupun lebih, mereka lebih mempunyai banyak pengkhususan, lebih banyak jabatan dan juga lebih banyak peraturan dan undang-undang berbanding pada organisasi-organisasi yang kecil. However, size becomes less important as an organization expand. Mana kesan size akan menjadi kurang penting semasa suatu organisasi itu berkembang. The next factor is technology. The way an organization transfer its input into output. Setiap organisasi itu mempunyai sekurang-kurangnya satu teknologi untuk menukar kewangan dan sumber manusia sama ada dari segi fizikal ke dalam produk ataupun perkhidmatan. Kita tahu bahwa teknologi ini merupakan salah satu sumber yang sangat-sangat penting sebelum melakukan sesuatu perniagaan. Numerous studies have examined the technology structure relationship. Kajian juga telah mengkaji bahawa hubungan struktur teknologi itu wujud dan juga terdapat pelbagai kajian mengenainya. Organizational structure adapt to their technology, di mana struktur organisasi dapat menyesuaikan diri mereka dengan teknologi tersendiri. The next factor is environment. Forces outside an organization that potentially affect the organization structure, di mana persekitaran ini mempunyai organisasi yang berpotensi untuk mempengaruhi organisasi struktur. Organization's environment includes outside institution or forces that can affect its performance. Kekuatan luar boleh mempengaruhi sesuatu prestasi organisasi itu. Persekitaran dinamik, dia akan menimbulkan lebih banyak ketidakpastian untuk mengurus persekitaran yang lebih statik. And how to minimize uncertainty is like you need to broaden structure to sense and respond to threats, which is mereka akan memperluaskan struktur untuk merasakan dan bertindak balas terhadap sesuatu ancaman. They need to form strategic alliance, which is perkara itu akan membentuk pakatan, akan membentuk sesuatu strategi yang lebih meluas. Another factor that shapes organizational structure is institution. Culture factor, especially those factors that might not lead to adaptive or consequence, that lead many organizations to have similar structure. Faktor utama yang menyebabkan banyak organisasi ini mempunyai struktur yang serupa adalah faktor budaya. Institutional pressures are often difficult to see. Institusi ini sering sukar dilihat secara khusus kerana kita tidak menganggapnya adalah tidak wajar, namun tidak bermakna ia adalah sesuatu yang tidak kuat. Ini merupakan 5 sebab ataupun 5 factor why structure differ. Struktur ini merupakan perkara yang penting. Kenapa sebilangan organisasi itu diletakkan pada ciri mekanistik dan sebilangan lagi diletakkan kepada ciri organik. So that's all from me, and I will pass this slide to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is SYAHIRA binti ABDUL AZIZ. My metric number I82303089. So today I would like to present about organizational design and employee behavior. Organizational design and employee behavior is about work specialization contributes to higher employee productivity, but it reduce job satisfaction. Maksudnya dalam work specialization ia akan menghasilkan kerja yang lebih pantas dan cekap, tapi ia akan membuat pekerja cepat bosan sebab buat benda yang sama berulang kali. Sebagai contoh, kita boleh tengok dalam organisation design fast food restaurant, yang mana setiap pekerja dia mempunyai tugas masing-masing dari awal masuk kerja sampailah habis waktu kerja tersebut. The point number 2 is the benefit of specialization have decreased rapidly as employees seek more intrinsically rewarding job. Apa yang saya faham, maksudnya benefit of specialization tu dia menurun dengan cepat apabila pekerja dia mencari pekerjaan yang lebih bermanfaat atau multitasking. Maksudnya kepakaran bidang dia tu kepakaran bidang dia tu menurun dengan lebih cepat kalau ada kerja yang multitasking, sebab pekerja tu dah terbiasa dengan buat satu kerja sahaja. The third point is the effect of the span of control on employee performance is contingent upon individual difference and abilities, task structure and other organizational factor. This slide is about implication for managers. Organizational structure it's determining an outcome from firstly is causes terbahagi kepada 5 iaitu strategi, size, teknologi, environment and institutions. Kos ni adalah penentu kepada susun atur sebuah organisasi yang terbahagi kepada 2 iaitu mekanistik dan juga organik yang berkaitan dengan prestasi dan juga kepuasan pekerja. Next, implication for managers is specialization can make operations more efficient, but remember that extensive specialization can create dissatisfaction and reduce motivation. Second is avoid designing rigid hierarchies that over limit employees' empowerment and autonomy. Third is balance the advantage of remote work against the potential pitfalls before adding flexible workplace option into organization structure. Point number 4 is downsize your organization to release your major cost savings and focus the company around the core competencies. But only if necessary, because downsizing can have a significant and negative impact on employee effect. The last point is consider the scarcity, dynamism and complexity of the environment and balance organic and mechanistic elements when designing an organizational structure.
So, for the literature review, we choose this journal, which is this journal explain about organizational structure, determining factors of structure, formalized tools of organization, structural models, and type of organizational structure. So, we discuss and we agree to take a point from structural models. So, in the journal, structural models give the main importance to organizational structure, but key elements are consistent with the main features of each formal models. So Bollman and Deal believe that structural view is based on 6 hypotheses. So we go through one by one on all 6 hypotheses. So the first hypothesis is the organization exists to achieve the preeminent goal. So kami menyokong untuk hipotesis ini dengan memetik kata daripada kajian daripada pengkaji oleh Mittersberg pada 1972, which is organizational structure is the framework of the relations of on jobs, system, operating process, people and groups making effort to achieve the goals. Second hypothesis is for each organization, structural form based on specific set of coordination is designed. So kami pun menyokong apa yang dikatakan di sini bahawa structural form ini adalah based on specific set, which means structural form ini divided into theoretical and practical. So the theoretical forms are generic and abstract, divided into organic and mechanistic. So we take a view on organic structure and mechanistic structure yang mempengaruhi kepada specific set of condition is designed. So for organic structure, employees are encouraged to work together and to have teams working on tasks together or coordinating to flow of information and duties. So for mechanistic structure, the structure is more clearly defined as a hierarchy with leadership delegating specific roles and tasks to those below. For third hypothesis, an organization is effective if the environment confusion and individual priorities are disrupted by reasoning norms. So, norms tell group members what is expected of them, what is acceptable and unacceptable, and allow members to anticipate the behavior of their fellow groups members and to anticipate the positive or negative consequences of their own behavior. Norms helps avoid embarrassing situation. So norms can be divided into formal and informal. So for formal norms, more important to continuity of the organization, written codes of conduct, and for informal norms is implicit but unwritten. Kami menyokong bahawa an organization sangatlah efektif apabila environment confusion dan individual priorities are disrupted by reasoning norms. So the fourth one is specialization enables high level of specialization and individual performance. So specialization is an agreement within a community, organization or larger group in which each of the members best suited for a specific activities assumes responsibility for each successful execution. So the fifth is coordination and control are necessary for effectiveness. So measure of coordination and control techniques including like structural complexity, formalization, decentralization, and firm internal labor market. So we agree that coordination and control are necessary for effectiveness, which mean dalam coordination dan control itu perlulah ada structural complexity, ada formalization, and then ada decentralization, and also firm internal labor markets. So the last one is organizational problems arise from unsuitable and inefficient structures can be solved by restructuring or development of new system. Okay, for the last one, there are many reasons for organizational restructuring and why we should organize the structure, as it will both boost efficiency and keep technology up to date. Technology is a determinant of an organization's structure. Innovation in technology, the process of working, materials, and other factors tend to influence a business and workplace in several ways. Other than that, the restructuring needs the new innovation. The basic principles and strategies can plan the restructuring of organizational structure and design. So we all agree that renewing or restructuring and develop a new system can make organizational work perfectly. Thank you.
The conclusion is every organizational structure can be used by any organization if the structure fits into the nature and the maturity of the organization. In the case, organizations involve through structures when they progress through and enhance their process and manpower. One company may start as a pre-bureaucratic company and may involve up to mature organization.